Yo, what is up, guys, and welcome to episode 1 on the GUI series. So, guys, if you are here, you want to learn about GUIs, and this is going to be a full series and all the different things about GUIs. Now, no, this is not the series that I'm doing for 200 subscribers. If you go to my community tab, I said I was making a new series at 200 subs. This is not that one. This is a separate series that I'm doing. So if we do hit 200 subs, I will be doing the next series, which I will also be doing with this one if I'm still doing this one by then. So you guys know what to do. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on my videos. And yeah, help me get to 200 subscribers so you can see what the next series is going to be. But this is a separate one that I'm doing, and this is about GUIs. So this is episode 1. I'm going to be taking you through an introduction of GUIs. So let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, if you don't know what a GUI is, then you can stay to this part, but if you do know what it is, you can just skip ahead to whenever I start talking about like things that you can do with it and stuff. So basically today I'm not going to be teaching any scripting for GUIs. It's just going to be how to make like pretty good GUIs and explain them and all that stuff. So if you don't know what a GUI is, basically think of like games, like on games, like take for instance like Bloxburg. You look at Bloxburg and you have like your money, it shows your money, it shows like your mood, it shows like your like build mode and house and everything like that. That's basically what GUIs are. It's just like it stands for graphical user input, or no, interface. I think it's interface. So that's what it means. Sometimes it will be shortened to UI, but basically that's what it is. It's just like everything that you can see on your screen that's not part of the game. Like it's something that you can maybe interact with, or it shows you like something. That's what a GUI is. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So Roblox has all these services on the workspace. You can go to workspace by going to view on the top and then the workspace on the side, and it should open this up if you don't have it opened up. And then here are all the services. So today we're only going to be focusing on this one right here, Starter GUI. And this is the service that handles all the GUIs. So you're going to press the plus button, and you're going to insert a screen GUI. So this is the core to GUIs. Everything inside a screen GUI is what your GUI is going to be in. So you cannot, okay, so if you search up frame here, and then you add it in to the GUI, it will not show up on your screen. It only shows up when you add it in your screen GUI. So inside your screen GUI, add in a frame. So now you should see that this like white square comes up on the side of your screen. So now inside your screen GUI, you have a frame. So now you can do everything with this frame. So like you can scale it out like this. Like I can scale it to fit the whole screen here. And there we go. So now we have a frame, and we can go to properties of this frame on the bottom. If you don't have that, go to view and then go to properties next to Explorer, and then it will show you the list of properties for this frame. So I can change the background color to whatever color I'd like, change it to red if I wanted to. I can do anything I want with that. I can also change like the size and rotation and style and everything. Or the style, I can make it custom, can make it different things. Usually you would do custom if you're making your own GUI. Visible, see if it's visible or not. You can change the name and everything. So that's basically all the properties of this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to delete this frame, and we're going to add in a text label. So now it will show label. Basically a text label is a label, and you can change the text of it. So you go to properties again, go all the way down, and then under the text you can change the text to whatever. So I can say hi, and it will say hi. And now some things about text labels is text scaled down here. If you set that to true, so it has a check mark on it, it will make the text scaled. But if you don't, then it won't be scaled. It just makes it bigger and stuff. So like if I was going to write a sentence like, hi, my name is Spicer, welcome to my YouTube channel. So if I was going to write all that, it will be small like this. You can also change the size of it as well. Okay, so now let's say it was like something like that. And also one more thing, under the properties up here, you can change the background transparency all the way to 1, and then that'll just remove the background. So if you want to have like text on the bottom, that'll be good for that. So let's just say you have something talking, it's like maybe like an NPC talking right here, and this is what they're saying. And then you want to change it to text scale, that will just make it bigger so you can see it better. So that's what text scale does, it makes it bigger. So now that we know what that is, usually you want to keep it true. Now we can change the text size. It doesn't really do anything unless you're like wanting to actually change the text size, but you can really just do that with this. But text stroke transparency, if you change your text color to white, usually, or anything that's not black, if you change it to like red or something, or anything like that, if you make your text stroke transparency to 0, you'll have this little outline on the side like that. So that's what that does. I'm just going to change it back to black. Okay, so now that we know what that is, font. So if you want to change the font, right here on the top under the text font face, right now by default it's Source Sans Pro. Change that to whatever you want. They have all the fonts here, and it will show you the name of the font, and then it will also show you how the font would look like. So I'm just going to do this one, and it will change the font. I can also change it to this one, or any one that I want, like that. So that's how you change the font of your text. So now we know how to change our text. So now we're going to talk about a couple other things that you might be using, which will be text button, frame, which we already kind of went over. Let's see, image label, and then let's see what else we're gonna do. Image, or not a script. We're also going to put in a image button and just a normal button, like a text button. There you go. And the last thing that we'll be learning would be where's that scrolling frame? There you go. Okay, so these are the things we're going to be using today. So we learned what a text label is, how to change everything. It's just a label that displays text. So now, image label. Let's go over that first. Oops, I have 2 image labels. Actually, no, I don't. Okay, image label. Image label is just a image label, so it's just a label, just like a text label, but you can change the image right here. So it has the same properties up here about like changing the background transparency, the background color, and all that stuff, the same as it would for the text, but you can change the image. Right now it's set to the default image. I'm going to get an image to show you what you would do. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how to make an image on Roblox. That will be another video if you want to see that. Just let me know. But once you do make an image on Roblox, you can copy the image ID. This is an old image I made a long time ago from an old game that I never finished. But basically, in order to copy it, what you would do is you would go to the image, wherever your image is, and then you will just copy this asset ID. And then once you copy that, then you go back to this Roblox Studio, and now you can change the this image ID. You can just Control V, and then it will show you the ID of your image on Roblox. And when you press Enter, then you have your image there. So let's say you add an image label. If you change the background transparency, it won't do anything because my image is not transparent in the background. But so now you have your image label. So that's how you that's how you add an image on Roblox onto your label. I will show you in another video how to add an image on Roblox. But anyways, for now we're just gonna stick with this. So now that's what an image label does. So now an image button does this exact same thing, but a button is like you can actually press it. Like if you see this text, when I hover my mouse over it, nothing happens. But when I hover my mouse over it, buttons, it makes it look like I'm going to click it. It doesn't do anything because we didn't script anything to happen when you click the button. But like I said, we're not going to be learning any scripting today for the buttons or anything. So right now, nothing will happen. So it's the exact same. Under the properties I think it has the exact same as the image label. So you can just copy that, and paste, or you can paste in. Now it has an image on the image button, but now this is a button. So the button, that's what an image button is and an image label is, so let's delete those. So that's how you use those. A text button. A text button is the exact same as a text label. You can change the text, you can change the text like that. You can change the font to whatever you want, text scale and everything, change the background color to anything you want. You could change the background transparency. The exact same as a text label, it's just a button, so you can click it. But of course, nothing will happen because we did not script that. So I'm also gonna just delete the text label too. Okay, so I don't know why I have two text buttons, but okay, so basically image and text button was the same thing. Image button just has an image button, and text is just a text. Okay, so now we have two more things that we're going to learn about for GUIs, and which is a scrolling frame and a frame. Okay, so frame, a frame is just a frame, so you can put anything inside this frame. Usually, a lot of times you use frames to organize stuff, so inside this frame we can add a text label, and now we can do something like that. And maybe we wanted this to be like a frame with, okay, so I'm not going to show you how to script this, but maybe we wanted this to be, maybe like a frame where, we wanted to close, like maybe it would show us like stats or something like that. So pretend this button is a close button, this is just the label of what this frame is. So pretend this is like, maybe like credits. Pretend this is the credits of your game. So you have the close button here, and you have the label that says credits. You can change it to whatever you want these to say, but this is just an example. So anything inside this frame would be your credits. So, okay, so scrolling frame, I'm going to show what that is. This is actually a perfect example to use it. If you put the scrolling frame inside the frame, and then you like scale it to however big you want, I'm just going to go like that, like this, and there we go. So down like that. So now you can scroll. That's what a scrolling frame is. It's the exact same as a frame. It's just that you can scroll in it. So like if I was going to add a text label inside this frame, and I was going to scroll, it scrolls. So that's what a scrolling frame is. So those are what frames do and everything. You can also rename everything on the frames to whatever you want. And yeah, that's how you use frames and scrolling frames. So if you want, you can change your screen GUI to like, maybe you want this GUI to display like main menu GUI. You can name it to whatever you want. It doesn't even have to have GUI here. You can just name it to main menu, but I usually just like to put GUI. I don't know why, but I do. So you can add another screen GUI. Maybe you want this to be like quest GUI. So maybe like if you have quest in your game, this would be the quest GUI for your game. So those are what the screen GUIs do. It's just basically the holder, like it's basically like the canvas of a GUI, and then everything inside of it is like, all of this inside of it is basically the stuff on the canvas. It's because it won't work if you just put it in the starter GUI service. Okay, now that we know what GUIs are and different things, how to use them, now let's just talk about customizing them. So this is going to be how you can customize them pretty well. So first of all, let's just say you have a text button and you want this to say play. So let's just say this is play, and then text scale, and then maybe you want this to be Banger's font, and then let's just make the background color to a red color. Okay, so if you don't want your GUI just to look plain and boring like that, you can do quite a lot of things to the GUI. So like if you press this plus button and you search up UI, and then it'll give you a list of different things you can do with UI. So UI stroke. If you select the UI stroke inside of it, then you go to properties, and then you go to the apply stroke mode, it will say contextual. You want to change this to border, and now it will change it to the border. You can also change it back, but this is for the border. You can change the thickness, you can change the transparency, do whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it at 0. And now that gives you a bit more like of an outline to your GUI, so it makes it look better. So now, as this text stroke does, text corner and a UI corner. So basically, text stroke and UI corner and UI stroke, those are like two things that like boost your GUI's appearance by a bunch. So if you go to UI corner property, you have corner radius. If you change this 8 to like a 1, it will just make it like more like squarish, but it will have like just a tiny bit of a rotation thing on the corner. But then if you change it to like a 10, it will make it like even more curved. So if you change it even more to like 80, it will change it even more. Now if you want to change it to like a full circle, you can just change this first number to 1, and it kind of does the same thing. And if you change this to 0, nothing will happen because 1 is basically the same. So now let's say okay, so if you change this one to 1 or anything, well, like, let me see. Okay, I think you can only change this to 1, the first number to 1, and I don't think the second number does anything once you do that. You just have to play around with this. But now if I was to scale this like this, now it's a circle. So that's what the UI corner does. It just changes it like that. You can change like the corner of it to make it look even better. So now that's what that does. So let's search up UI again. UI gradient. Okay, so now that we have UI gradient, what this does, it makes a gradient for the GUI. So if you don't know what a gradient is, basically how you would use this is change the color to something you like. So since this is red, I'm going to change this to maybe like a darker red. Or actually, let's just keep the red color that we had. And then let's change this one. If you go over here and select this and then click these 3 dots, if you change this color to like maybe like a darker or brighter one, and then you set it like that, now you can set this bar around here, and now you have your darker and lighter color, and you can change like the gradient of it. So it basically just makes like 2 colors mixed into one. That's what gradient means. And now it just makes it look even so much better. So that just looks way better, and it has a color sequence there too. So UI gradient is perfect if you want to make, like, if you want to up your GUI appearance. Okay, so we covered these. Now let's see, anything else? Okay, so we're not really going to be learning about any of this other stuff, but let's just talk about UI list layout lastly. If you add that in, and then you hold Control D, it will duplicate your text button. And UI list layout, it just makes like your list layout. So it's like if you duplicate it, it will like make it as like a list automatically instead of you having to like align it. So I don't really know how you would do this, but I think if you change that to 1 and then you duplicate this text point, okay, so I don't really know how to use the list layout, but basically it just makes if you change the padding to something, it will change like the list layout of the padding. So basically it just makes it like in the list if you change it to a certain number. So you don't really need to use that if you don't want to, but basically if I'll show you what it would have done. If you duplicated it, it would just, when you duplicate it, it will make it appear under it instead of it being on top of it. So that's what that would do, but you can just do it manually if you want. And there you go. So we can duplicate our buttons by holding Control and D if you wanted to know that as well. And let's see. I think that's everything for this video. I think that's everything about text. They cover everything about GUIs, the basics, and how you can customize them and everything like that. So, actually, one more thing that I would like to go over. If you have a button in here, I have a plugin where it's called Auto Scale Light. I think they have the light version like under the plugins, under the toolbox. I'm down right here. Let's see, auto scale. If you search up auto scale, they do have a couple other auto scales. I don't know what happened to the one that I have. I think they removed it or something, but this one costs money, but all these don't have good ratings, so I am using the auto scale light, but I don't think they have that anymore for some reason. I'm not too sure. But you can find like an auto scale. And what that does is if I select this and I go to my auto scale and then add a constraint, actually I didn't mean to do that, not a constraint. If I add in a unit conversion, if I scale the position and size, that means it will be visible on all devices. So let's say we have 2 buttons. Changing this one to button 1. So now this button will not. So here, I'll just show you. If I go to test and then device, these 2 buttons look different. Button 1 is big like this. Then button 2 you can kind of see under there. Like if I can change the this is just how you test if how your game will look on different devices. So this button is slightly bigger than this button. But now if I go to a phone, this one is like way over here instead of it being in the middle. So it just keeps changing position rather than just being in one spot. But now if I was to delete this button 1, I was going to go to test and then device again. This button is in the middle just as it is on a computer, like that. And then on tablet, it's still in the middle. So that's what that's what I did. I changed the unit conversion, the position and scale, so it stays in one place. Basically, the whole point of that is on different devices, the resolution will be bigger or smaller depending on what device you're on. So if I'm on a computer like I am right now, and the button is in the middle of my screen, on a smaller device, the button might be like over here, because since my computer screen is bigger, if it was in the middle on my computer screen, it would be over here on a tablet screen probably, because, or most likely it will be over here or somewhere else, because the tablet is smaller. So like let's say this whole window is my computer, right? I have the button here, but then let's say this window changed to a tablet, and now it's over here on my tablet window. That's because on my computer, the window was much bigger. So that means this is in the middle, but that's only on the middle on my computer, but not on any other device, because it's like the resolution is way bigger. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have different devices, it will be in another position, because on other devices, if it's smaller, it will be in the same spot as it was on computer. It will just be somewhere else because the resolution is smaller. So it needs to. Sometimes it just might not even appear because of how small your device is. So basically, that's what that auto scale does. It's just a plugin that's really helpful. If I find it, I'll put it in the description, or you can just download one of the other free ones if you want. And yes, that will do it for today's video. So thank you guys for watching this video. That's the introduction to this series, and I will see you guys in the next video, which I should be doing some scripting in. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.